Good evening, everybody. Today I'm not doing a video challenge. That was actually completed yesterday. Through a crazy chain of events. Had a really late night last night. For those of you that have been following the feed here on the social media Badass Academy Facebook page, I was trying to get a hold of Des at like four something in the morning. Didn't go to sleep until probably around 4:30 ish, maybe five, and I was back up by 7 o'clock. So today my speech, just everything is completely off. Aside from where I normally do videos, shortly after I woke up, it was pouring rain. Then it began snowing, and it's just been doing that all day long. Like right now, it's actually snowing right now as I look outside the window. So I do got a little bit of water out there. But other than that, I don't even have a glass of water in here with me to, help me feel a little bit more comfortable being around the water. But I had a lot of cancellations today, so I figured today I'd do a little video, and you guys are here at home with me in my office. So welcome. This is where I do all of my work. What you guys are watching right here, this is just my TV. I'm running a Facebook or excuse me, a YouTube feed into it right now, and it's what you're seeing is actually just a mashup of all of my different videos and stuff that I've done, over the course of my challenge. I have excluded day 4 and 5, so you're not going to see those in there. You guys are still not going to be aware of what the project is. Aside from that differentness, me being here in the office instead of out by the water, I'm actually trying out something a little bit different. I use some old phones that I do a lot of my videography for. I've actually already had a couple people ask me what kind of camera I use to do the videos that I'm doing thus far. The one that you guys have been watching all of these videos, and the one that I'm actually using right now, it's actually a Samsung Note 4 that I'm doing the videos with. I use I don't have a camera crew. I am my own entity. I don't do a lot of editing. I actually use the voice commands to start the videos. The only editing I really do is, towards the end of turning them off. Right next to there, I've kind of made a contraption, I guess you could say, where right next to it, I'm using another device where I have the camera flipped around to where it's in selfie mode, where I can see in 100% real time exactly what it is that you guys are seeing over here on this screen. I can see right here on not the TV itself, but on this device. The Another crazy thing that I'm doing is right below all of everything that you're seeing here. Right below, I have another my iPad. I'm using just some footnotes on what it is that I'm going to actually be talking to you guys about eventually. Um, so basically, what I wanted to make the video on today was I had posted. Sorry, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I know you guys have already watched it once before. I know you guys don't need to hear it again. I had posted a thing on Facebook and on Instagram. It was just like a little flyer, kind of like a post. If you guys were to interview me, what was the one question that you would want to ask? So Diane Smith here on the group, she had asked, "What's your why?" Now, Diane, I need a little bit of an elaboration on this. This is something that's new to me, and answering a question like this, I'm not quite sure I understand what you mean by "What's your why?" So if you happen to watch this and you're watching it thus far or this far into it, please, elaborate on that. Let me know what it is that you're asking. Nicole. Nicole, you have commented on every video. You have been, I don't want to say religious, but you kind of have. Very inspirational. Your feedback is amazing. You had asked me, who am I? Well, my name is David. I'm 39 years old. I am a web and app designer, mobile apps. I build websites and build mobile apps. I'm getting into the marketing thing. Aside from the three of those, I'm starting a new project that I'm getting ready to start pushing over. I'm getting a little bit of help from others, kind of feedback, I guess you could say, in starting this new project. Just something that I'm seeing, and believing in it. And it's really not here in this small town that we live in. I live in northwestern Michigan in the United States. It's a small town called Ludington. It's a beautiful place. One day I'll end up doing a feed and you guys will be able to see more of it. But anyways, um, aside from being married, I have a 2-year-old little girl, and she's amazing. It's not easy, but she is amazing. Um, let's see here. What else about me? There's really not a whole lot. I mean, if you guys want more details, and you guys are gonna just have to ask, use the little, see, I can see what I'm doing. Use the little comment buttons that are right down here and ask me a comment. Yeah, I can see where I'm pointing now. Another question Des had asked, even though I did say one question, Des had asked a couple. She wants to know what was my biggest inspiration and why. My biggest inspiration is, like I mentioned, my 2-year-old daughter. I love spending time with her. Even though she is my daughter, as of right now, there is 37 years, a 37-year age difference between me and my best friend. That little girl is my life, and she's at daycare right now. And if I could have her here right now, I would. But trying to work and do a video for you guys, and having her here, it would just be such a handful. And I'm gonna throw some videos together of her and I, and you guys will eventually see them. I'll post them on my new project. Um, but my inspiration is her, spending more time with her. What can I do with myself to be able to spend more time with her, to where she's not sitting at daycare, you know, every day of the week. I want that time with her. I want that her and I time. Let's see here. Des also asked, why do I do what I do? I believe that everyone has a voice, and sometimes they're unable to verbalize it. But even if they are able to verbalize what it is that they want people to know, they can only speak so far. By having a website, it kind of opens up your door for so many different options. Having a website completely structured around the way that you want it. Something as simple as, like, my stepfather. He has a blog just talking about politics, with the election and everything that had just recently occurred. He's able to talk about those, and, not just himself, but, others that create an account and log in, and they can discuss things, put their opinions in there, and just talk about whatever. Um, there's also, somebody that wants to sell things, that, had came up with this great idea, which I've seen a lot of, people that I'm following on Instagram, where they're creating these things, and, they're wanting to sell them, and that's, having a website is an amazing tool to help them with this. So their voice is their product, and, they're wanting to sell it, whether it's for a side income, whether it's for their primary income, it is what it is. And then there's all the ones that are in between. Something as simple as what it is that I'm going to be doing, what I'm working on. You're able to, express, just basically, tell the world what it is that you want them to know. And I believe, through my knowledge of, computers and everything I've learned in my past, that I'm still learning. With technology, it's still an everyday learning curve. I want to help people verbalize that. Like right now, I'm doing these videos. I'm trying to expand what it is that I'm able to do. So now, me feeling more comfortable, doing these videos, I am able to expand what my capabilities are. So I'm basically making my voice louder. But with that being said, now there was a couple of questions on the same post, the same little thingy or whatever that I had done, that Keep with Katie had asked on Instagram. She asked me what a social hotspot was, just based off of another flyer that I had posted on Instagram. A social hotspot, the simplest way that I could explain one of these is, think of the last time you went to a hotel and you connected to their wireless network. Upon connecting to their wireless network, you were redirected to a welcome page where, like say a hotel like the Marriott or something, they ask you to basically put, fill in your first name, put your last name, and then your email address. And just by inputting those three things, just so you can be placed on their mailing list to be getting spammed all like crazy, um, by by them putting you on their mailing list, they would basically grant you internet. Just simply said, a social hotspot is very similar. The only difference is, and how this would affect or benefit your direct sales business is if you have a store, like whether you sell things, a coffee shop, a small sandwich shop, somewhere where people are going to be spending time. You would set up one of these social hotspots, and it's completely set aside from your actual business network. So if your business depends on or thrives on using like devices like iPads and whatnot to deal with its everyday running, that's your business network. When you connect one of these social hotspots, it creates a whole separate entity, almost like there's like a wall where you have your business on one side where you don't want any of your guests connecting, and then you have your I guess your customer side where they would be able to connect to that social hotspot. Upon them connecting, they would actually connect, and instead of being redirected to a splash page, so to speak, where they would sign up for like your email list, they would actually check in to your business Facebook page. If I had mine set up, which I should have set mine up, then I could have used another device and showed you exactly how that works. But what ends up happening is, as I go to connect to one of these devices, one of these social hotspots, my phone will redirect me to the programmed Facebook page, and it asks me to check in. And when I go to check in, just for say I have 500 people on my personal Facebook page, I go to check in, and I instantly just told 500 people that I'm at your establishment. A social hotspot. It basically allows the customers to advertise for you. That way, it's a one-time fee. You set one of these things up, and it's maintenance free. Granted, you find the right people to help you carry the load of this. But that's pretty much it. It redirects them to your social media Facebook page, and it asks them to check in, to where your customers would then start advertising for you. You figure you get 5 people to come in and sit down and have a cup of coffee, and if they connect to your free Wi-Fi, those 5 people are actually going to be checking in, and all of their friends. So if you could only imagine how that tree would start basically branching out and telling people that, hey, so and so is here at my place. Um, if you don't have a, if you do not have a place of business, I guess you could so to speak, I wouldn't recommend a social hotspot. Um, Aside from that, Svet, I am not even gonna attempt to say your full name. Wow. But you had also asked on Instagram, how do I juggle my everyday errands and still manage to have fun? Calendars, through a chain of events that I'll kind of get into maybe in a different video. I'll kind of elaborate on it a little bit right now. The day before Thanksgiving, I had ran into my office at work, and I slipped on some recent new paint, and not only did I screw up my back a little bit, as of right now, there's one person that actually knows this. So if you're hearing this again, sorry. But I had slipped and fallen and messed up my back a little bit. And I also, I guess I hit my head hard enough to give myself a double concussion, and there was some swelling, and it caused some arteries that basically, that are some veins and some arteries that are right in the center of your brain to kind of constrict. And it's not allowing blood to flow in as much blood to flow in different areas of the brain and body that's supposed to. So I'm getting a lot of restriction as to blood flow stemming from my head. The way that my family doctor had described it was, you take a regular drinking straw that you would get from a fast food restaurant and you bend it in half, just basically bend it in half, and then squeeze it, and then hold one end, and you'll still be able to use the straw, but the flow of the fluid is drastically restricted. That was the easiest way it was explained to me, in non-doctor terms. So, as a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm actually going to see the neurologist to find out exactly what they're going to do and how they're going to fix this. Personally, I'm scared out of my mind. I don't even want to know, but they do have an obligation to have to tell somebody. So, my opinion, tell my wife. Tell my wife that you guys got to cut me open back here and you got to stick a hose in there and drain blood. I don't want to know. But calendars, I live by calendars. I use an Android device, so it's a constant. I can't exactly say what it is that I tell my phone because it'll activate this service, but by activating the calendar, I live by the calendar. It's a constant. My phone's going off, especially here lately, especially with my memory and everything. I'm living by dings and bells and reminders, and it's completely ridiculous. But that's the only way that I can manage my everyday, taking care of this and taking care of that. And you have to make personal time. You can have things scheduled from the time that you wake up until the time you plan on going to sleep, and somehow, some way in the middle of that, something always comes up. But I have to put in there that I'm spending time with my family. That is the only way that I've found to effectively juggle everything. Whether I'm going and seeing clients, talking to them about pre-existing websites, talking to them about new websites, doing the marketing aspect, ways to improve what it is that they're trying to do, creating a mobile app for them. Something as simple as just, a basic, somebody can click their phone and boom, there's all their contact information. It could be that simple of an app. You could do fancy ones. I mean, I'm not saying I do like games and stuff like that. No, the apps that I do they're just basically business related. But aside from that, like I said, Diane, if you're still watching this, be sure to, I would like to answer your question. And you asked, what's my why? I don't know the answer to that. Give me 1 second here. Oh, it's nothing important. But other than that, yeah, this is completely different for me. Like I said, I'm still here in the office. Guys, give me a second and let me see how messy it is. It's not horrible. I'm actually going to grab the camera here in a second and I'm going to spin this thing around. But I am going to get rid of what I'm currently working on right now. Because that's still a big secret. But I'll grab the camera here and I'm gonna spin you guys around. That way you guys can at least, for those of you that have watched this video this long, I don't even know how long this thing's going for. Figure this is the least I could do. Let's see here. You really can't see exactly what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get in the middle of the room. And yep, it's gonna be a little difficult. And I'm just gonna try spinning this thing. Guys, what I'm using right now with this platform, there's the outside coming up. Here we go. Bam. This is my view. I live in the city, but I have woods. Go figure. But yeah, this is my office. There's the iPad I was talking to you guys about. There's really not a way. I don't have a way that I can show you guys. Actually, yes, there is a way. You guys just seen the iPad just a moment ago, so here's what I'm going to do. If you just bear with me. Boom, boom, wrong side. I don't like Apple products because I don't know them very well. I don't know how, there's the little button to flip around the camera. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hope that the flash is not too bright, and you guys will be able to see what it is. Now the actual, my light itself.